Hey, what's up guys, in this video we're going to talk about CSS fonts. So the fonts are very important portion of any website. So we have to choose the right font so that the font is compatible with multiple devices and operating systems. So there are 5 generic type of font family. Like an example, we have the serif, and then we have the sans serif, and also we have the monospace, and also we have the cursive font, and also we have the fantasy font. So the key differences between the serif and the sans serif font is that the serif fonts have the small stroke at the edge of each letter, where the sans serif fonts have the clean lines, so there are no stroke attached to the sans serif fonts. Now to set the font, we use the font family property. Like an example, we can select the h1 element, and then we can use the font family property, and the font family property is used to specify the font of a text. So here we use several fonts and separate them by comma. So these several fonts work as a fallback system to ensure maximum compatibility. Like an example, we can use Arial and then comma, and then we can use Helvetica, and then we can have sans serif. So these comma separated fonts work as a fallback system. So if the Arial font fails, then we have the Helvetica font, and if that also fails, then we have the sans serif font. And next we're going to talk about the web safe fonts. So the web safe fonts are the fonts that are universally installed across all browsers and devices. Like an example, we have the Arial, or we can also use Verdana, and also we have the Helvetica font. So these are the example of some of the fonts that are universally installed across all browsers and devices. So next we have the font style property. So the font style property is used to specify the italic text. So the font style value can be normal, or the value can be italic, or also we can use the value as oblique to have the leaning text. And also we can use the font weight property. So the font weight property is used to specify the weight of the font. So we can use the value in number, or also we can use bold to have the bolder font. And next we have the font variant property. So the font variant property value can be small caps. So the small caps will convert all the lowercase letters into uppercase letter, but their size will be small with compared to the uppercase letters. And next we have the font size property. So the font size property is used to specify the size of the text. Like an example, we can use 50 pixel. So we can use pixels to specify the size of the text. And also we can use em, like 3 em. So 1 em is equal to the current font size. So the default font size of the browser is 16 pixel. So we are using 3 em, so it will be 3 times the default size of the text. And also we can use the font size in percentage, like 500%. And also we can use the responsive font size like 10 VW. So VW stands for viewport width. So the text size will follow the size of the browser window. Like an example, if we increase the size of the browser window, the font size will also increase. So one viewport is equal to the 1% of the viewport width. And next we're going to talk about the shorthand font property. So the font property is used to specify all of those individual property in just one property. So first of all we have to specify the font style, like italic, and then we have to specify the font variant, like small caps, and then we have to specify the font weight, like bold, and then we have to specify the font size, like 50 pixel. So now we have to specify the font family. So I'm gonna use the comma separated fallback system for the font family. So first of all, I'm gonna have Arial. So if that fails, then we're gonna have Georgia, and then if that fails, then we're gonna have the serif font. So this way we can use the shorthand font property, and we can specify all of those individual property in just one property. So hope you understand about the CSS font properties. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you.